If you're in an industry that is highly competitive, you have a lot of competitors that are eating away at your market share. I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how you can crush the competition legally. When I started on Fungible, by year 1.5, around year 2, we unlocked a new big marketing channel and we unlocked a new big product. Back then, there were a lot of smaller players that were doing the exact same product that we did. What we then did, the sequence of events, the sequence of decisions that we took, allowed us to literally take over the chair. There was a point with live audio, Twitter Spaces, where we were doing 90% of all the company spaces that were happening on Twitter during a week. We owned 90% of the market share. We had a monopoly over the industry. And it was during that period of time where I was personally able to make the most money and where Unfungible was able to grow the fastest. And what I'm about to share with you, so the question that we have by Soul Frater is about competition. So the context of Soul Frater is he owns a football coaching education school, and he has much bigger institution players, that being the National Football Association in his country, that started their own school to compete with the existing small players because they saw the small players doing well. So they have all the money, all the means, all the branding, and he doesn't. So the question that Soul Frater has is, how do I destroy or overcome the competition? And Soul Frater, what you are describing is the classic alternative versus formal education channel. So if I go back here, you are describing the classic formal education versus alternative education syndrome. If you are to think, let's take an example of what you are facing. You are small, let's say mom and pop's owned coaching academy that is trying to compete with the official football association in your country. And even you've said that the official football association have been warning students not to work with the other smaller companies because the smaller companies do not, the certificates that you get and the training that you get does not is not valid if you want with the official organization. This is the exact example of university training and going to school and going to university versus pursuing your own learning journey by taking programs, buying into mentorship, watching on YouTube. It's a formal versus education dilemma that you're facing. And the reality is, the formal education system will always be bigger because it has a system working for it. However, it does not mean that you, as an alternative education program, you do not have the ability to make money, and a lot of it. If you are to think of some of the biggest coaching businesses that exist in the world, these are not universities, these are not government owned institutions. Oftentimes it's not like they have a certificate that is accepted like degrees or MBAs, but these happen to be the biggest institutions. I know some guys on the internet that are making 9 figures a year, 9 figures, like $100 million and up per year, selling alternative education. What you need to do, the way you're going to be destroying these guys in terms of making more revenue than you ever could have, is the following. You're going to need to outcompete them with branding. You will not win them with resources. You will not win them with the government backing. However, you are going to win them with branding. There is a reason why there are thousands of founders every single year that are willing to go and pay Alex Hermosi hundreds of millions of dollars to learn from his team, although there is $0, there is zero certification or formal education that comes out of it. You will not get better business loans because you have a certificate from Alex Hermosi. He doesn't even give a certificate. You will not get accepted to business school because of that. That's alternative education. And the only way for you to win is something. So I'm about to show you a 4-step process just right now on how you can build the biggest brand in the world in your specific industry. And again, the way I know this is with Unfungible, these are the exact same strategies that we used to become a monopoly in this space, destroy the competition, and also build a successful, profitable business. The first thing you're going to need to separate yourself from the competition, because again, if the average person compares formal education with you, they're always going to pick formal education. We're going to need to have something new and different. And step number one is we're going to need to have a contrarian narrative. No matter what is it you're building, you need a contrarian narrative. A contrarian narrative is a statement, an idea, and a belief that goes against contrary belief, but that clearly states where you stand in the world. When Elon Musk said the only way for civilization to survive is by going to Mars, that is a contrarian narrative. When he said that renewable energy and electric cars are the only way to save the earth, that is a contrarian narrative. When Michael Saylor goes out on Wall Street and says Bitcoin is the future of money, that is a contrarian narrative. He is saying things that the vast majority of people do not agree with. And that is how these people are able to separate themselves from the masses. They're able to separate themselves from the masses, and by planting a flag to show the world, this is who I am, this is what I believe in. Think of every product that you use. Let's talk of crypto because we are in the crypto niche. Bitcoin was out, Vitalik came in and he was like, we need crypto that has the ability to be programmed on. We need to be able to build apps on this thing. So he created apps. So he created a smart contract based crypto. Then Solana came in, they said, we can't continue paying absurd amounts of fees to use the blockchain. So we're going to create a low cost, high speed thing. That's the contrarian narrative back then. And today is just like the accepted narrative. Zcash. Again, it's privacy season. Zcash. The contrarian narrative is very simple. I don't want people to just copy my wallet on some Explorer and see exactly how much money I have. that won't work. Zcash. So that's the first part. You need to, in your context, you have a football club. You gotta find something that you see most academies, most schools training wrong. Maybe you're gonna say that, hey, the majority of schools out there are actually spending too much time teaching people how to do these fancy tricks and these fancy drills. In my academy, we actually focus on fundamentals because it's the fundamentals that will make you a professional player. That's a contrarian narrative. Another contrarian narrative is you could say most clubs spend too much time doing cardio for people. Instead, we spend most of our time taking shots on goal because that's the only way to get better. Whether that's true or not, that's an example of a contrarian narrative. So what is your contrarian narrative? Because that alone will separate you from the formal educational system. Then we go into step number 2, which is you're going to need a unique mechanism. So you have stated your contrarian narrative, what you do not agree with. Now we have to show the world what is our solution. So it's like, okay, I don't agree with this thing, but it's like, here's what I propose. It's like saying Elon Musk being like, hey, like we have to leave Earth to survive. And it's like, then what? If he didn't say, I'm presenting to you SpaceX, it would have been like, okay, like good. But he has to present his unique mechanism. And a unique mechanism is a unique way for you to do things. For example, my contrarian narrative with Unfungible was influencer marketing in crypto will make you bankrupt. Most projects are stuck in the spending treadmill and will find themselves at their grave before they find themselves at the door to success. The way you change this is through the founder funnel. That's my unique mechanism. I want you to think of, there's this thing, a great example of a unique mechanism was, there was a season in the late 2010s, I think it was like 2018, 19, 20, where butter coffee became a big thing. people started to place butter inside their coffee, and then you would mix it and then you would drink your coffee. And what that was supposed to do is it was supposed to slow down the absorption of coffee so that you don't have the big spike and the big drop. This whole trend was actually started by this company called Bulletproof Coffee. Bulletproof Coffee. I forget the name of the founder, big guy, but that is an example of a unique mechanism. There was a problem with the old way of coffee. I present to you my solution. So Bulletproof Coffee is a great example. Alex Hermosi's money model. Again, I have the books here, how he packages it, the money model. That's a unique solution. That's a unique mechanism. So for you, you have to find a way like, okay, most teams spend a lot of time working on tactics. What we are doing is we are spending the time working on the players' VO2 max, which is your ability, your body's ability to process oxygen. So that could be a unique mechanism. Then step number 3, you're going to give it a name. I'm more and more starting to understand the importance of giving a strong name to your unique mechanism. I'll tell you the example. 2 years ago, I introduced the founder funnel on X. Back then, my account had maybe 4,000, 5,000 followers. I would get on average 500, 600 views. And then I introduced the founder funnel. I remember I made a video on a board. I was like, introducing the founder funnel, the ultimate way to generate attention. And just that one video became my top performing video suddenly. I went from having 500 views to all of a sudden that one video got 12,000 views. I still remember it like yesterday because that was my top performing piece of content ever. I'd never seen that many views. That is an example of how a name sticks. I've tried to introduce a lot of different products with a lot of different names, and you realize that some stick, some don't. But you have to test it. And I was not expecting the founder funnel to have that oomph effect to it. I've tried to name other things. I've named millions of things in my life, especially in marketing. But you kind of know when it works and when it doesn't. So when it comes to your unique mechanism, don't just say, okay, I'm going to quit my VO2 max accelerator program. Maybe that's not the right thing. Maybe you have to continue tinkering on the actual name that you give to your unique mechanism until it starts sticking. And funny enough, the ultimate goal of a unique mechanism is it becomes its own category. I'll tell you what I mean. Russell Brunson introduced the term funnel. He introduced the term funnel with his business ClickFunnels. He said the old way of having a website with millions of pages is dead. Instead, I want to introduce you to the funnel, a simple converting page. And his business was ClickFunnels. He literally invented the term funnel in marketing. And today, people use the word funnel without needing to quote Russell Brunson. It's not like his company is in the name of the actual word. Same thing with founder funnel. I know people go out there and they're talking about the founder funnel like it's a strategy. It's a name of a process. So that's how I want you to name it. A lot of people try to name their unique mechanism with their name, company name inside of it. Let me introduce you to Unfungibles 3-2-1 strategy. It's like, no, it has to be something that is coinable, that other people can repeat. And that's how your ideas start to spread. So you have to give your idea, your unique mechanism, a name. And you see how suddenly now we have separated ourselves from the formal educational system. We are building something new and different. And you have nothing new and different to offer. That's a problem. How do we propose something new, different, that the few students that want to go the extra mile, that want to become pros and experts and learn a certain tactic to improve their VO2 max, they could continue going to the formal educational program, but then they can start joining your program on the side. And then this brings me to step number 4, which is you want to hitchhike on other people's trust and W's. That's where, man, it's going to be very important for you to start associating yourself with big people in the space, with big people in your niche, with people that have trust and are established. I have seen, again, I've had the way a personal brand works, I've noticed, is not a straight line. Most people think it's a straight line. Instead, it's more like like a staircase. One of my big staircase jumps right here was when I started doing big podcast interviews with big guests. I remember I had in 1 month, I did Luke Annette's Zagabond Yatsu. That was a huge jump for my personal brand. And the reason why was because suddenly people started to see Leon in a room next to big people. And that alone elevated Leon's brand presence. That's the next step for you. How can you start having micro celebrities? Micro, depending where local football celebrities, local meetups, bring in the not just the big players, the professional players, but bring in the maybe there are YouTubers in your area. Invite them, have them conduct a workshop in your specific school. And then once you do have a transformation of a student, let's say one of your students ends up winning a tournament or a championship or ends up using a certain technique that you taught them, how do you turn this into testimonials? So, how do you hitchhike off the W's of your students? And if you do these three together, so you have your contrarian narrative, you have your unique mechanism, you give it a name, and then you are hitchhiking other people who have success, who have a big name for themselves, then you become in a league literally that is uncomparable from the formal educational system. Uncomparable because these are things that the formal educational system cannot do. It's bureaucratic, it's slow, it's process oriented. You can do things differently. That's how you position yourself in a way that is completely unbeatable from the formal educational system.